Hi, Cloudies. This is Jerome, and we're going to explore Lambda function. For this video, we're going to talk about five things: the introduction to AWS Lambda, serverless computing, event-driven execution, code in the cloud, and its supported language. So, our first stop is AWS Lambda. It's a game changer in the world of cloud computing. With Lambda, you can forget about server management and concentrate solely on your code. It shines when it comes to handling services, making it a must have for any application where responsiveness and scalability are paramount. It's used widely in the computing industry, in development world, and it's a must thing to know if you're into the cloud. Serverless computing is transforming the way we build and deploy applications, and AWS Lambda is a key player in this transformation. It allows you to say goodbye to server management, which is particularly significant when you consider the vast scale of users that rely on cloud services. In 2020, an estimated 2.3 billion people were using personal clouds, and in 2018, around 80 million. Consider this and particularly learning the heart of AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda is an event driven execution, meaning it executes when an event triggers the AWS Lambda function. As you can see here, there's a trigger of AWS Lambda, and the output can be services from the AWS itself. And an example given in the diagram and the presentation is an CSV to S3 bucket, and that S3 bucket will be the trigger of the AWS Lambda, and the output will be in will be inserted into the AWS SQS, which is a simple queuing service, and that SQS can be a trigger to another AWS Lambda. So a serverless event-driven architecture automates action based on events, enabling scalable, resilient, and cost-effective application. AWS Lambda, a central component, execute code in response to these various events, as said earlier. AWS service like Lambda, SNS, and SQS, also like Event Bridge, are used to construct serverless event-driven architectures, providing scalability, cost effectiveness, and more. Key design principles include component decoupling, event-driven compute with Lambda, asynchronous processing with message queues, and connecting application to message bus. Performance optimization involves leveraging managed services, automatic scaling, message queues, and more. Basically, event-driven execution can be as automatic as possible, scaling into what we needed to scale. This have been expounded all throughout the slides, and coding the cloud means you can run code in the cloud with AWS Lambda and leave the headaches, the stress, the troubles of server provisioning, scaling, and maintenance behind, and focus on your application's logic, letting AWS take care of the rest. To code is to write, and that is the very heart of AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda supports multiple programming languages. This include Node.js, Python, Java C Sharp, Java and C Sharp, and this provides flexibility for the developers because developers love options and Lambda provides just that. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video. That's all. Again, this is Jerome, your cloud enthusiast.